Oh, that's great. Money.
Goes by so.
And we actually got these shirts. We went on family vacation last year to celebrate because we, it was the year of fishing, so we got everybody with the shirt. So we couldn't take our picture until October because the guys started getting sick on the bush.
Okay, we are live streaming.
Live screaming?
If it happens.
If the service gets to that point, if we're in an ecstatic rapture. Is he going to live stream? Morning.
He's probably still sleeping.
All right, we'll let him sleep. Hello.
Good, how are you? It's Michelle. No, she has until the,
They're halfway.
they're moving piece by piece, but they have to be out on April 5th. So it's 2 blocks away. They'll have it moving. Meanwhile, their landlord hasn't been
For a year.
in the house since the house across the street was up. So I have to have a fire sale to go to this house.
Which one you want?
You know, when you say halfway moved, it reminds me that we had, after I was ordained, and we were all packed up and moving to our new congregation. So there was one student, rabbi, who became a rabbi, got his moving van all packed up with his stuff, and halfway to where they were going to go, there was a terrible flood, and the entire van was destroyed. So he also got halfway. And,
Who is that?
I don't remember who it was, but I remember how devastated they were.
On Tuesday, I'm supposed to be pouring. I haven't seen my brother in years, so
We're going to try electric vehicle to try to hopefully find chargers along the way.
yeah, that's right.
Or a long extension cord.
We're going to Henderson, Nevada.
Oh, okay. Well, that shouldn't take too long.
To see my brother.
Nice. A lot of Jews moved to Henderson. A lot of Jews moved to Henderson. So we've got a good Jewish population.
You made our day, though.
Including some of the members of our congregation ended up there. Yeah.
We were worried about it.
As long as they're charging stations along the way.
Oh, I know. Thank you.
Okay, 1.5 minutes and counting. Sheila! Let's make sure we have the chairs for everybody. So you know that Sheila works for a moving van company. Good. Wow, that's nice to hear. Let's hope we don't turn things around here with services.
Yeah, right. The unhealing, right?
Right.
We don't need that.
We deheal. We do not deheal.
We don't need it.
And the Schroeders send a big thank you to everybody and especially to those who you know whom you are for helping them out. They're very grateful.
You need some more chairs or... How many do you
So nice to be here. So nice to be here.
Judy found a kippah.
Oh, I don't know. It looks like it might be.
Shall I frisbee it to you, Neil?
Oh, Neil.
Ooh. I mean, Barbara. Okay, the hour has come. Welcome to Shir Ami Shabbat morning service. If you have not yet put on your talit and plan to do so, please rise to say the bracha together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu asher kiddushanu banu lehit atef. And please be seated, and we begin at the bottom of page 14. Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz. Yeram hayam, Yeram hayam, Yeram hayam, oh, Yeram hayam, Yeram hayam, Yeram hayam, umalo, Mashiach et Amecha. Mashiach et Amecha, uvarech et nachlatecha. Mureim, 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 mureim v'nasem, mureim v'nasem ad ha'olam. Hang on just 1 second. Mizmor shir, shir yom ha'shabbat. 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 Page 15. Tzadik atamar yifrach eretz bavanan yishke shetulim beveit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu Yafri Od Yenuvon Beseva Deshenim Verananim Yehiyo Lehagid Ki Ashar Adonai Tzuri Tzuri Velo Avlatabo Mikolot Mayim Rabim Adirim Mishpareyam Adir Bamarom Adonai Shaltecha, Bechol Dor Vador, Malchutecha, Malchut Kol Olamim, Shaltecha, Bechol Dor Vador, Malchutecha, Malchut Kol Olamim, Shaltecha, Bechol Dor Vador, Malchutecha, Malchut Kol Olamim, Shaltecha, Bechol Dor Vador. ואנחנו נברך יה, ואתה ביד עולם, ואתה ביד עולם, הללויה, 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 הללויה. Hallelujah, hallelujah, Tetzilzelei Shama. Hallelujah, hallelujah, Tetzilzelei Trua. Kol Anshama de Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Kol Anshama de Hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai, HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai, HaMevorach, HaMevorach, Le'olam Va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach, Le'olam Va'ed. Please be seated. Adon Adon Hashem Baruch Baruch Kefi Kol Neshama Gadol V'Tshuva Malei Olam Ta'atuna Sovel V'Motam Hamika Achayot HaKodesh V'Netar B'Chavod HaMerkava V'Chut Mishor Lifnei Chisot Chesed V'Rachamim Lifnei V'Modo Tovim V'Orot Zivara Elohim Sarah V'Da'at V'Bina U'Haskel Torah Natan V'Yem V'Od Moshe V'Kerem V'Yem V'Leim Ziv V'Gim V'Ga Na'er Zivam V'Olam Mechim V'Tzeitan V'Sasim V'Voam Osim B'nei Ma'retzon Kolam Ve'er V'Avod Od Mipnishma Verina V'Tetel Tov Hashem Yitzma Orva Ve'Yizim Surat Avan Sheva Hanot Niblo Kotzeva Amaron Tiferet U'Gedulas Tzafim B'Yonim B'Chayim La 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 ya la 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 la. Or Hadash Atzion Tahir V'Nizeh Ulan Meira Le'aron. Or Hadash Atzion Tahir V'Nizeh Ulan Meira Le'aron. Baruch Atah Adonai Yotzei HaMeorot. Ava Rabba Aftanu Adonai Eloheinu Chem L'Gedola V'Kterach Hamata Aleinu Avinu Malkeinu Ba'avur Avoteinu Shebatchu V'cha Avinu Malkeinu V'tilamdenu Kechayim Ein Techanenu Lamdenu Avinu Ha'avarachaman Amrachem Rachem Aleinu V'teinu Libeinu Lehavinu Haskil Lishmo Aleinu Lelamed Lishmor Ve'lasot Ukayim Et Kol Divrei Talmud Toratecha V'Yavah Ve'aferenu B'Toratecha Ve'dahabek Libeinu B'mitzvotecha Ve'yached Levaveinu Ve'yahava Ve'yira Et Shemecha Ve'lo Nevo Ve'olam Ba'ed Ve'lo Nevosh Ve'olam Ba'ed Ve'shem Kodecha HaGadol v'Hanora B'Tachnu Nagila v'Nismecha Nagila v'Nismecha B'Shuatecha. We gather our seat together. V'havienu l'shalom yirvaken fota aretz v'tolicheinu kamim v'liartzenu ke'alpa Yeshuat ata uvane v'charta mikolam v'lashon v'keraftanu l'shimcha hagadol sela v'emet להודות לך ולייחדך באהבה ברוך אתה אדוני הבוחר בימו ישראל באהבה שמע ישראל אדוני Eloheinu Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך ובשרת מיותיך והיו לטוטפות בעיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the children of Israel and bid them to make tzitzit in the corners of their garments throughout their generations, putting upon the tzitzit of each corner a thread of blue. When you look upon the tzitzit, you will be reminded of all the commandments of the Lord and obey them. You will not be led astray by the inclination of your heart or by the attraction of your eyes. Thus will you be reminded to fulfill all my commandments and be consecrated to your God. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I, the Lord, am your God." Azot, azot, shibechu ahuvim, shibechu ahuvim. V'romemu, 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 v'romemu el. V'natenu, v'natenu yedidim. V'natenu, v'natenu yedidim. Zmirot, shirot, v'tishbachot, v'rachot, v'hodaot, l'melech Elkai v'kayam, ram v'nisa, gadol v'nora, mashpil geim, umagbiah shifalim. Motzi asirim ufodet nanavim v'yo zerdalim v'yoneliamo v'yet shavam elam tehilot le'el elyon baruch u'mevorach Moshe u'bnei Yisrael l'chanu shira v'simcha rabba v'yamru chulam mi chamocha v'elim Adonai Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh Nora tehilot osef eleh Shira chadasha shipachu geulim l'shimcha al svat hayam Yachad kulam hodu v'himlichu v'yamaru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. We're going to pause to share what we are thankful for. This is anniversary Shabbat. We have 3 anniversaries, at least, that we are celebrating. And so as I call your name, if you can, I'll ask you to please rise. Paula and Lou Loomis are celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. Fran and Sam Kabonik celebrating their 54th wedding anniversary. Mazel tov. And the winner of the Battle of the Roses is Ray and Armand Wazana, 56 years of marriage. Anybody else celebrating an anniversary here? Okay, so I'm going to bless you with this, sharing this blessing. Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, our God and God of our ancestors, we are grateful for the love with which you have blessed and sustained these husbands and wives whose hearts are filled with gratitude to you. O Lord, may they continue to enjoy your blessings in the new song of their years to come, embraced by the love of their family and friends, so that they may always live in joy and gladness, in love and harmony, in peace and companionship. And let us all say Amen and Mazel Tov! Mazel Tov, and you may be seated. Okay, who would like to begin our sharing of what we are thankful for in preparation for our own private prayers of thanks? Sheila.
Well, you know how after you have cataract surgery, everything gets bright and beautiful looking? Well, that's how I feel today. Everything looks bright and beautiful and clean from the rain. And I am out of the house. Oh, thank God. And I made it here, and I'm so happy to see every single one of you. I really am.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to be here.
Well, I hope when we were socked in with fog that you didn't get up and say, "Oh my God, it didn't work." That's wonderful news, Sheila. Thank you. Who else would like to share what you are thankful for? Ray.
Well, first of all, to be sharing with such beautiful couples, March anniversaries. And one quick thing, Rabbi, maybe I missed it. Is anyone on Zoom?
Yes, yeah, we have a whole bunch of people on Zoom.
I'm sorry, I was looking the wall.
No,
We don't have a wall anymore.
we got polar bears and marshmallows. And they're all-
First of all, besides, yes, I echo Sheila. It's so good to see you, Sheila.
Oh,
To be with everyone here. And maybe, Rabbi, seriously, we may need to knock out a wall because people
Yeah.
keep coming.
Or build a shul.
But I just wanted to share two quick things. First of all, I am very grateful that UCLA has won their first game. And the reason I'm saying that, and it's like from my mouth to God's ears, I hope, in 1995, when they won their last national championship, I got to have a T-shirt signed by some of the players on that team. They came to Gelson's and they said, "Britt, anything you want." I wished I had had a basketball, but I said, "Please go ahead and sign here and here." And every time I watched that shirt, I said, "Please don't let their signatures come off." But the
Stop wearing the shirt.
the other
Raymond.
thing is, I am finally going to get to visit Renee and her husband back east in Connecticut. So I'm leaving, going for 1 week. And as much as I love snow, I'm actually keeping my fingers crossed they do not get a snowstorm.
Yeah, yeah. How many of you went to Purdue, by the way?
Farley, what was that?
Go UCLA. So they play again this evening. Who else?
Farley Dickinson, right?
Yeah. How many of you went to Farley Dickinson? 'Cause they beat Purdue. So if you don't know the history, the number 16 ranked team, Farley Dickinson, beat the number 1 ranked team. Only the second time in NCAA history that a 1 ranked team lost to the 16th ranked team, and that was Purdue. So, who else would like to show what you're thankful for, Lou?
Well, I have to say it's 50th anniversary. Amazing. It's great. It started last summer when we took our family to Cancun, and we decided we better start the celebration early. You never know. So day before our anniversary, I got COVID. We had a broken pipe, water pipe in the house. We're under construction. It's unbelievable. I'm healed, mostly healed.
In your house, is it getting healed?
Starting next week, but it's been a wild ride. But we're gonna make it. We're doing it.
Very nice.
Right,
Thank you.
right.
Good. Who else would like to share something? Sybil's on the screen here, so if you wanted to come a little bit closer, Davida, and share what you are thankful for.
Well, I'm thankful first always to be here with all of my I see Temple Beth and me family, Shir Ami family, and that also that my sister last time I just my sister is now up to 107 pounds, which is a real machaya. So I'm happy about that, and I'm happy. My husband just celebrated his 75th birthday, which I don't understand how that happens. That's a parent's age, you know. So I remember throwing a surprise party for my mom at 75. Oh, she's old. You know. So my sister was here with me and helping me, which was the best thing. And we had this most beautiful party to celebrate him. And then we're going to go to Israel for his real birthday. So anybody who has any input can help with suggestions or anything, because God willing, after we go to we have Passover, and probably in May or June we'll go, and we're going to go for about maybe 4 weeks, which that's a real blessing, and then hopefully maybe we'll go some other places close by. So that is what I'm happy for, and that all of us should always be happy and healthy.
Nice. Thank you, Davida. Have a safe trip. Who else would like to share what you are thankful for? Jordan.
I am thankful for the wonderful outpouring of sympathy and love and affection that's been extended by so many people of this congregation regarding my mother. She loved participating, especially in social action and in this congregation. And I just want you to know that we're also thankful for all your messages.
Thank you, Jordan. Who else would like to share what you are thankful for?
Me. One more thing. I know I thanked everyone when I first came in. But I want Phyllis to know, because I see her picture there, that I have thanked everyone here in the congregation for the many kindnesses shown to you during your recent illness. And I hope you're showing positive today. I mean, negative. It affected my brain.
Okay, so Phyllis will have you share.
She has to unmute.
Unmute. There you go.
I'm so thankful to the congregation that has been so kind to Stan and myself while we have struggled with COVID. And I just can't express how grateful we are for the affection and help that we've received. And I am looking forward to being able to return to services in person. It's always an uplifting experience, as good as it is having this access through our computer. It's not quite the same as being there in person. Thank you all.
Thank you, Phyllis. And Stan is going to share, but I'm going to enlarge Stan so that we can see him a little bit bigger.
Uh-oh.
And
Well, this is a unique experience, of course, for me to do this on Zoom. We did it on Zoom a couple of years ago, where, everybody was on Zoom, but now, because of circumstances, but it's such a wonderful occasion, and also to see all of you there. And congratulations to the 3 anniversary couples, all contributing, and wonderful supportive members of Congregation Shir Ami. But in particular, I wanted to remember the date of March 3rd, 1972, which happened to be the Loomis's wedding date. And in so doing, I want to remember some of the things that happened in that month of March 1972. I say in no particular order, except maybe to me. And the first one is that the UCLA Bruins won the NCAA basketball championship with an 87-66 score against Memphis State in St. Louis. Bill Walton of the Bruins scored 44 points by hitting all but one of his shots and setting a new record. The victory was UCLA's 75th in a row in the playoff, and gave Coach Wooden his 9th title in 10 years. The next one, maybe some of you remember the name Ron Blumberg of the New York Yankees. It was spring training that month, but the next month he would become the first designated hitter in the major leagues, because the American League instituted the designated hitter. And Ron was actually born in Atlanta, Georgia, Jewish roots from Romania, but he enjoyed the attention and received in New York because he was Jewish. Said he was able to play in front of 8 million Jews. You can't beat that. I lit everyone's candles for every bar mitzvah in the city. It was like I was related to everyone. They named a sandwich after me at the Stage Deli. Of course, many of you remember that this was the end of Vietnam, and one of the few remaining U.S. soldiers began to leave, many of them had to leave Vietnam, and one reunion of a former POW with his family would be immortalized in a Pulitzer Prize-winning photograph called The Burst of Joy. It was Lieutenant Colonel Robert L. Sturm, the former POW. He was greeted by his family at Travis Air Force Base. I saw the photo, you can look at it, because it's a burst of joy. And it's his whole family running to meet him on the tarmac there at the Air Force Base. It was just glorious. And among the others released was a future U.S. Senator John McCain, who spent over 5 years at the POW. Another thing is the late Roberto Clemente was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. It was less than 6 months after his last game, and we remember that that he died in an airplane crash on December 31st, 1972. And not finally, but almost finally, the final 591st and final episode of the Lassie series was Ancient Indication. Not everybody there, of course, remembers, but I do. And after the beloved collie had gone through multiple owners in over 19 consecutive seasons in various scenarios, on September 12, 1944, the show had premiered on CBS. Also, just briefly, The Godfather won Best Picture. There was some controversy because Marlon Brando refused to be there for the awards because he talked about the mistreatment of the Native Americans, etc. And lastly, because I was in the computer industry for so long, and I do remember that in that month, the Xerox company introduced something called the Xerox Alto. It was the first computer with a graphical operating system that is a vertical monitor that displayed keyboard choices of operation to the user, and a mouse with 3 buttons became available for sale or lease. Okay, so a memorable year and memorable month, and a memorable couple in the Loomises. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stan.
And Sachin Littlefeather thanks you as well. So I'm going to remove the spotlight from Stan. Let us all rise as we prepare to say our own private prayers of thankfulness. Sur Yisrael, Kuma B'Ezrat Yisrael, Ufedei Chinu Meha Yehuda V'Yisrael. Zvaot Shemo, Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. And we continue quietly. Shalom, Tova Uvracha, Chen v'chesed, Chesed v'rachamim, Aleinu v'yakol, Aleinu v'yakol, Aleinu v'yakol, Yisrael Amecha. Sim Shalom, Tova Uvracha, Ein v'chesed v'rachamim, Sim Shalom Tova Uvracha, Ein v'chesed v'rachamim, Aleinu v'yakol Yisrael Amecha, Aleinu v'yakol Yisrael Amecha, Sim Shalom Tova Uvracha, Ein v'chesed v'rachamim, Oseh shalom, 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 Dimrom avuya, Aseh shalom, Aleinu, Oseh shalom, 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 Dimrom avuya, Aseh shalom, Aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yimaru. Amen. Please be seated. Yitgadal v'yitgadash mirava. Yomadi brachi rutei v'yomechmachutei b'chai echonu v'yomechonu b'chai rechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala ubizman kari v'yamaru. Hey shmei rabba mevorach. Leolam leom meomaya. Yitbarach v'yishabach v'por v'yamam yinaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'lashem edikudashah. V'yichu le'ilav min kor b'chatav v'shorata. Tush b'chatav v'nechmata. Da'amiram v'yomam v'yamaru. Amen. Titgabel tzlachon v'aton d'chol Yisrael. Kadam avahon v'shmai v'yamaru. Amen. Yesh lamarav min shamayim v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamaru. Amen. Oseh shalom dimromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamaru. Amen. We've come to the Torah service. We're on the middle of page 19. Let's give out a few honors. Who would like the honor of carrying the Torah through the congregation? Whose turn is it? Lonnie?
All right.
Okay. Who would like to be the Hagba? Okay, in honor of your anniversary. Very good. And we continue now on page 19. Ein kamocha ba'Elohim Adonai v'ein k'ma'asecha malchutecha malchut kol olamim umemshaltecha b'chol dor v'dor. Adonai melech Adonai malach Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Adonai oz le'amo yitei Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom Avarachamim eitiv avirtzoncha etzli Tibnei chomot Yerushalayim Tibnei chomot Yerushalayim Kivlecha lebavotanu Melech Torah v'nisa Adon olamim Aaron vayomer Moshe Kuma Adonai v'yavutzu olecha v'yanisim b'sanecha v'kanecha ki mitzion teisei Torah ki mitzion teisei Torah u'devar Adonai Yerushalayim Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah V'yamo Yisrael V'yidushato Be'beyan harachet V'lishmei kadisha Kadisha Yakira Adonai Tushvechan Be'anarachet Be'anarachet V'lishmei Kadisha Kadisha Yakira Adonai Tushvechan Ye'eram Tiftach li li'oraita, v'tasli mishalim b'libi, b'liba b'chol ha'am Yisrael, v'ta'al l'chayim, v'lishma Amen.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Adonai iti, Adonai Shema Yachda.
Lecha Adonai Hagenu Gevura, Vatiferet, Ve'anesach ve'ahod, Ki kol b'shamayim u'va'aretz, Ki kol b'shamayim u'va'aretz. Lecha Adonai hamamlacha, ve'hamidnase lechol rosh. Metzion teitei Torah, Metzion teitei Torah, Ki Metzion, Ki Metzion, Metzion teitei Torah, Metzion teitei Torah, Metzion teitei Torah, Ki Metzion, Ki Metzion. We remain standing for the reading of the Torah. I have enrolled the Torah because it's the easiest, one of the easiest portions to find, because we're coming to the end of the book of Exodus. And so Bonnie is just going to keep rolling until she sees a big space in between sections. What that also means is that we are going to, when she finishes the very last words, we're going to say the words Chazak, Chazak, V'nitchazek. May we be strong and strengthen one another. So she's going to do this very slowly because she's reading as she goes.
Yeah, right.
She's a speed reader.
She's a speed reader, all right.
You're going to say it really easily.
Okay, I'm looking.
All gonna see it.
Well, I know where it is in the paper at home.
It's good exercise.
There. So you all see this big space here.
Oh, okay.
That means that we've come to the end of the book of Exodus. So let us all point right here and kiss. Baruch hu Adonai HaBarach, Baruch Adonai HaBarach le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Vayichas ha'anan et ohem moed, Uchvod Adonai malei et hamishkan, velo yachol Moshe lavo el ohem moed, ki shachan alav ha'anan, Uchvod Adonai malei et hamishkan, uvhe'alod ha'chanan me'al hamishkan, yisu b'nei Yisrael bechol masehem, ve'im lo ya'aleh ha'anan, ve'lo yisu ad yom ha'aloto, ki anan Adonai al hamishkan yomam, ve'esh tiyeh laila bo, la'enei kol beit Yisrael bechol masehem.
Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek. Kiss again. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Yeshua. Please be seated. So one of the projects that I have been doing now that I have a little extra time is taking a lot of the photographs that we have in albums. How many have a lot of photographs in albums? You have them there because you took pictures before the digital age. And the question is, what do you do with them, especially if you want to make sure that they're safe and make sure that other family members have a chance to share in them? So you digitize them. It could be very expensive to digitize them. And if you decide to just take care of it yourself at home, it's kind of difficult to pull them out of those photo albums. Sometimes they're really stuck in there really, really good, or the plastic sheet over it is really hard to pick the plastic sheet up. So what do? You've tried taking pictures of it, but every time you take a photograph of it to get a digital impression of it into your camera, the flash goes off and the light glares on the cellophane, on the plastic covering. So what do? So I've been thinking about this, and what I did was I went online and I downloaded a fabulous app. And what this app actually does is it goes right through the plastic into the picture, and it takes all the glare out, and it even fixes up the picture a little bit and it puts it into your digital camera, and it's free. So if any of you want information as to how you can get this, please feel free. But I've been going through all of our albums, and I have been taking digital photographs, and we have many of them that now I'll be able to share with my family and friends. The name of the app it's like Scanner Pro or something like that, or Photo Pro. So email me after Shabbos, and I'll be able to show you exactly where it is. Barbara?
I'm not too savvy with all this. When you say you digitize it, you put it on your phone.
Yeah.
Now what do you do?
Well, if you have Google Photos, it automatically saves it into your computer. So if you don't have your photos from your main computer hooked into your iPhone or your smartphone, you should get the app that does that. It's all part of the Google system. So it will automatically pull it all into your...
I won't have to download it.
No, don't have to download anything. It's fabulous. So anytime you take a picture with your camera, it gets saved onto your computer.
Great idea.
So it's called it's on the cloud. So it's iPhotos Cloud, and you'll be able to get it all there. So email me if you want that information as well. So the way I'm able to afford being in retirement is that I get paid for sharing information about how you do all of these things. No, I was kidding. I was kidding. But where this is all going is that I've been in the process of taking these pictures of the kids, the pre-digital age, which means the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and so I came across one picture that suddenly reminded me of the Torah portion for the Shabbat. And the picture is of Alicia and Benji. Alicia is kind of preening in front of a mirror, and Benji is standing off a little bit to one side, amazed at how amazed Alicia is by how beautiful she looks on the mirror. And yeah, they were very young at the time. And what was interesting is that it relates to the Torah portion, because the Torah portion is all about the Mishkan, this portable tabernacle that accompanied the Israelites during their wanderings for 40 years. It had all the holy objects that were safe and sound and moved along with them. And one of the objects that was there was a wash basin. And the wash basin was used for the purification of the Kohanim. And the wash basin and the stand were made from, and now I will quote from the Torah portion for the Shabbat, from the mirrors of the women who performed tasks at the entrance of the tent of meeting, unquote. So these mirrors actually were copper or bronze that were polished to a very, very high level, and then they were used as mirrors. And it seems that the women were asked to bring their mirrors, and they voluntarily, actually, before they were asked, brought the mirrors so that these wash basins were able to be prepared. And what's interesting is that the Midrash, the stories, the commentary that accompanies the Torah, it recounts how Moses at first didn't want to accept them from these women. But God told Moses that it was fitting for him to get them, because this was a donation that was being provided by the women that were implements of vanity, and they were willfully giving them up. So it has a lot to do then with how Judaism regards mirrors. And it seems that the Midrash reminds us that mirrors were treated as a positive task and use, a tool in Judaism. And so this morning, what I would like to do is I would like to talk a little bit about mirrors, not to see our reflection, but rather to see the role that this simple object plays in our lives and how it should play in our lives. So it occurred to me, I think most of us, when we left the house, before we left the house, after we got up in the morning, we looked in the mirror. And we looked in the mirror, and why do we do that? It wasn't to see how we looked. It was to see how we looked to people who would see us. Because when we just get up in the morning and nobody's going to see us, we don't take such care about our appearance. And it occurred to me that there are just a couple of other times that we know that people might see us, but we're not going to prepare ourselves to be seen. One of them is when we're sick and we're in the hospital and we just don't care. And so when people come and they see us, we know that we don't look the same as we normally would. And the other time that we don't look in the mirror to prepare ourselves for company is when we're sitting Shiva. And we cover the mirrors because we are told that this is not a time to worry about how we look. So we assume that people are going to see us in these states of not being properly prepared to be seen. And we decide that we don't care. And part of the reason that we don't care is because we have an understanding that people are not going to care how we look at moments like that. And it seems to me that wouldn't it be nice if we created a culture where nobody looks at the externals, they only look at who we are and they only look at what's inside of us. And there are actually some other religions, some other cultures that do that. You know that there are other religions where you cover yourself up. In some religions, you actually cover yourself up so that the only thing that can be seen are your eyes. But most people don't have that feeling that nobody's going to see us, and so we prepare ourselves and we apply makeup and by the way, I think that men's one day we're going to have makeup that we're going to be able to put on. And in fact, there was a news report this week that Pedro Pascal, when he went to the Emmys, he's the Mandalorian. He's also in The Last of Us. That was just that's been being shown, and he has this wand that he bought for $119. You can find it online. I can give you that information. And apparently you hold the wand in front of your face and it takes wrinkles out and it takes the puffiness out. And there were people who had heard that he was using this wand and they looked very carefully when he was on the stage to see how he looked, because now men are beginning to be concerned about how their skin looks when they go out. And so, yes, before we go out, we comb our hair and some people put on makeup and we check our wardrobe. And the irony is that for most of us, it's not really that important. We're not that superficial, are we? That we look so carefully at what people are wearing and what people are putting on their faces. Yeah, we do care if they're walking down the aisle at a wedding. Or if they're on the red carpet, now the beige carpet at the Oscars. But I'm going to prove to you that you are not that kind of superficial person that looks so carefully at somebody. How many of you realize, how many of you know that today I'm wearing mismatched socks? Raise your hand. Because you're not. No, that's not why, Barbara. You didn't look. You didn't say. What kind of socks are you wearing today, Rabbi? The reason that you didn't notice, and you don't even notice now, is because they're black.
I noticed.
You see, Judy, they are mismatched, right?
And I was wondering why those two mismatched other socks were at the top, and I thought, oh, that's weird.
And the reason I did it, and Bonnie knows this very well, is that every now and then one of my socks gets eaten up by the dryer, right? And you never know where those socks go, but you do know you don't have a sock. Or sometimes you have a hole in one sock, but not in the other. And the question is, so you throw a sock out, or you lose a sock in the dryer. What do you do with the other sock? Now, I've got a lot of black socks. And I realized this week, as I was preparing my thoughts with you, that it's a black sock. Who's going to see? Who's going to care? And so I tested you, and you all passed the test today. And it occurred to me that if you have some socks that are similar in nature, people don't look at other people's sock. And in fact, people don't look at their shoes either. When I first began to wear sports shoes to services, these are my shoes. Now, you could have all looked at these shoes and you could have said, oh my God, the rabbi is not dressed properly for services. He should be wearing regular leather shoes, right? Not shoes that look like you're going to go running a track later on. I know that most people in this congregation, it's not that important to you. Yes, there was the time that I came to services a number of years ago without a tie, and one of the members of the congregation of blessed memory called me to task for that. And she said, Rabbi, you're not dressed to present the service to us. And I said something to the effect, live with it. I didn't say that. I just... yeah, and then she died of shock, yes. In fact, I realized this very, very early in my time here at the congregation. About 10 years into my 45 years with you, I began to realize I was getting really, really, my hair was starting to turn really, really gray. And I was worried that, yeah, I was getting the attention of the older generation of the synagogue, and now they were listening to me more carefully because I looked like I was getting older, and what I carried had a little more weight, where when I first came here and I was 29 years old, the old folks would have nothing to do with my advice. But I realized I was losing the younger people. So I dyed my hair, and it turned out to be pitch black. And I came to services really worried, but interested to see what people's comments were going to be. Not one person said anything. So when I shared my thoughts at the end of services, I said, either you're the most polite congregation in the world or the most unobservant congregation in the world. But and most people, it didn't care to. They didn't care. They didn't notice. Despite the fact that my mother taught me at a very early age, because when I was in 9, 10, 11, my mother got to the point where she would get dressed up to go to an affair, and she would walk into the room where my sister and I were doing our homework or watching TV, and she would stand there, and we would continue to do what we were doing, and my mother would always say, so? I didn't get dressed up so you wouldn't notice. Always notice what people are wearing. When you go into somebody's house, notice what's on the walls. People put a lot of work into figuring out what goes in the bookshelves and how it goes and what goes on the walls. So start to notice. So we began to notice. So now I do notice when people wear blue jeans and a nice jacket, because I think that's ridiculous. Why are you doing that? But that's just me. But most people, it really doesn't matter to them. There are things that we do that, and in fact, you can put this to the test yourself. Sometime during the next week or so, when you're talking to a friend, suddenly ask them, oh, by the way, could you please close your eyes? Have them close their eyes. And then say, what color is the shirt that I'm wearing? Or what color are my eyes? Or is my hair up or down? Most people are not going to know. Which is why when there's a crime, most people are not good witnesses. Because we just don't care, and we don't see that much. We're not always that observant. And really what we want people to do is not to see our socks. By the way, one of my socks has a hole in it. And I wore it anyway. How many of you saw the hole in my sock? Yeah, Davida, this is her work, her job, her life is the hats you wear and the.
That's right. I say a prayer before I'm leaving. If I'm not all made up, because you know you're going to run out. Please, God, don't let me meet anybody that knows me. I pray all the time.
Right. How many of you go home and you look in the mirror and you think, oh my God, my spouse or my friend let me out like this? I have a hair that's going like that. They didn't say anything. Yeah, right. So. Bonnie's gonna start to notice these things.
I noticed it at the beginning.
Yeah, it's nice that people recognize the key part because I do try to. It's hard to match when you're wearing black and white. You know, what's the key part that you're going to wear when they're all in different colors? But and by the way, this kippah was made by a student at the school. It's a gift to me, and it's the school color. It's one of the two school colors. We don't want people to notice what we're wearing. I think what we really want is for people to notice: are we happy, or are we sad, or are we hurt, or are we tired, or are we overwhelmed, or are we bursting with joy? Isn't this what we really want people to notice? And so before we walk out of the house and we look in the mirror and we check to see how we're looking, we also want to see, are we putting on a pleasant disposition? What kind of a mood are we in that we are portraying to other people? And so this is what we should be doing when we look in a mirror. And so let's remind ourselves what mirrors are for. Yes, we should check our hair and we should check our makeup. When people leave the house and they're unkempt and they're untidy, that raises other alarm bells for us because that also opens up a whole other system of concerns and worries when somebody suddenly doesn't care how they look at all. But when we prepare ourselves and when we see ourselves, I think that we definitely want for people to see not how we look, but to notice who we are inside and whether we're good to them and how we portray ourselves. Because at that moment, people are not going to see how we look. They're going to hopefully know how we feel. And to be good, then, when we leave the house, requires more than just a touch up. It requires a good foundation, pun intended. We're going to do a Misha Berach now for those who are not well, and I'll ask you to have your names ready to go. Misha Berach Avatenu Abraham Yitzchak Yaakov Yimatenu Sarah Leah. He will bless our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. Bless these people, and they would include
Eileen Wasserman, Debbie Brown.
other names.
Jakob Berg, Shoshana, Moshe Shmo, Ben Shoshana, Raquel Masha, Bat Shoshana, Aya Batega, Shana Malkovich,
Mike Roach, Bruce Cabal, Angie Testa, Carolyn Birch, Cindy Marks, and Robert Phil.
Joel Golden, Roger Barker, and Lisa Crystal.
Thank you.
Megan Ross, Pete Harold, Elliot Haverford, Ben Kabalik, Sam Kabalik, John Stallmaker, Diana Stallmaker, Jenny Finley, Sheila Hart, Stephanie Ross, Jerry Ross, Phil Schroeder, and Stan Schroeder.
Phyllis Schroeder and Stan Schroeder.
Thank you.
Phyllis Schroeder, Stan Schroeder. Sheila Hart.
Great.
Sheila Hart, Stan Schroeder, Phyllis Schroeder, Frank Kabal, Sam Kabal, Suzanne Matteo, Jeanette Wasson, Phil Cooper, and Madeline Cooper.
Paul Loomis, Chuck Richmond, the Schroeders, Sheila.
Thank you.
Charlie Matlin, Ruth Solomon, Schroeder's and Sheila.
Thank you, Paul. All right. Thank you, Nancy.
Bernie Halpern, Neil Epstein, Marie Hyman, Adele Harris, Stephanie Lazarevitz, Robert Rich, and Sandy Hyman.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Adele Stella, Jane Abson, Linda Sharp, Bonnie Ritter, Fran Winters, Linda Roman, and Nancy Arthur.
Thank you. And the other names we give that to.
That's Sheila.
Every time Sheila's name is mentioned, a smile came on her face. Because when you're not well and people think about you and are hoping for a speedy recovery, it makes you feel good. And so that's why it's really important that every now and then the names that you're mentioning, if you can call, let the people know that you're mentioning their names, that will go a long way to helping them to get better. Right?
Ray Meltner and Diane Meltner.
Thank you. And on the screen, Sam.
Mark,
Phyllis,
Mark
yeah.
Suckman and Fran.
Thank you. Stan?
Phyllis and Sheila and Barbara Grubman and Fran.
Thank you. Any other names? HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yishlach Lehem B'mheira Refuat HaNefesh V'Refuat HaGuf B'Toshach Chol Yisrael V'Nomar Amen. May the All-Merciful restore these people to full health and to full vigor, along with all others who are stricken with illness, and let us say Amen. And we're going to say a prayer now for America and for Israel. For America, Ar-Rahman Hu Yibrachet Artzot Habrit V'Yagen Aleha. May God bless the United States of America and protect her. And before we say our prayer for Israel, thank you, Stan, once again for providing us with a little bit of information about Israel, for which we are so proud. And this is about the amazing stand-up wheelchair. Dr. Amit Gaffer, a veteran inventor and entrepreneur, is standing on his own 2 feet again after developing the world's first stand-up wheelchair. He says his wife cried when he used it for the very first time after he broke his neck during an all-terrain vehicle accident in 1997. No other device allows the user to travel in the upstanding position. It's called Up and Ride, and it can travel at 4 kilometers an hour, over slopes and bumps, grass and gravel, and tackle pretty much any urban environment. Dr. Goffer says it's as important to address issues of dignity and self-esteem, the ability to interact with people face to face, as it is to enhance mobility. So I'm going to pass this around. You'll be able to see what this looks like. And I'll ask us all to please rise as we are going to say the prayer for Israel. Avinu Shabbat Zur Yisrael B'Goalo Barech et Medinat Yisrael Reshit Tzmichat Geulatenu. The Hagba and Galila come forward. V'zot HaTorah asher sham Moshe Lifnei b'nei Yisrael Adonai v'yad Moshe Yisrael v'yoraita Adu Yisrael v'yoraita Adu Torah, hallelujah. Torah, hallelujah. Torah, hallelujah. Torah, hallelujah. Ayemi lama chazikim ba v'tocheh meisha v'rachecha darkeinu v'chol netzivotecha shalom Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashua Hadesh Remain standing for Musaf. Yitkadal, Yitkada Shemei Rabba, B'Almadi Rachi Rute, B'Mechlachute, B'Chayechon V'Yomechon, U'Chayerecho Ben Yisrael, Bagala, U'Bizman Karim, V'Meru Amelim, Yeshmei Rabba Mevorach, Olam Leomaya. Yitbarach, Vishtavach, Vitparvitum, Vinase, Vietadar, Vietale, Vietala, Shemeda Gudisha, Ilami Koberchata, Vishirata, Tushmeta, Renata, Dani, Ramya, Vimaru. On page 22, we back up 3 steps and forward 3 steps. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el HaKadosh Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chasei Maybe go ahead. Mechayim Meitim Berachamim Rabim Samech Noflim Berofei Chamolim Umatir Asurim Umekayim Emunato B'Shnei Afar Milchamocha V'Kibro Umidom Melach Melech Meitu Mechayim Umasmiach Yeshua Amarata Lachayos Baruch atah Adonai Mechayei HaMeitim Na'aricha v'nakdisha Yisosiach Savei Kodesh HaMakdishim Shimcha BaKodesh Kakatu B'Yom Kivyecha V'Chazel V'Yamar Kadosh 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 Adonai Tzvaot, Melachol haaretz kavodo. Kvodo malei malei olam, Neshamato sholim sholim zelazeh. Ayim mekom mekom kavodo, Ayim mekom mekom kavodo. V'yamatam baruch yameru, Baruch Adonai mikol mikol. Achamim Yachol Am Yachadim Shelo Erev HaBoker V'chol Yom Tovim V'amayim B'yavad Shema Omrim Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Eloheinu Avinu Malkeinu Avinu Malkeinu Moshiachenu Yashmi'enu V'Rahama Sheni L'Yeinei Kol Hai Yashmi'enu V'Rahama Sheni L'Yeinei Kol Hai Yolachem Elohim Elohim Rekachach Katuv Lemor Am Elohim Tzivot L'Dor Vador Hallelujah Dor Vador Nagid Golecha U'Lenesach Nesachim Kedushatcha Nakdish V'Shivchacha Eloheinu Mipino Le'Yemush Le'Olam Va'ed Yelmelech Gadol V'Kadosh Ata Baruch Ata Adonai El HaKadosh. Please be seated. Yismechu b'malachutecha Shomrei 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 Shabbat V'yonei Shabbat Yismechu b'malachutecha Shomrei 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 Shabbat V'yonei Shabbat Mekadeshei Mekadeshei Shavi Shabbat Kulam Yisbehu Virangu mituvecha Shabbat. Yismechu b'malchutecha. Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat. V'korei Onei Shabbat. Yismechu b'malchutecha. Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat. V'korei Onei Shabbat. Ubashvi'i ratzita bo v'hirashta ho Shabbat. Femdat yamimo tokarata. Zecher l'maseh v'reishi. Now, before we chant our concluding prayers, we'll have Jordan come and share some congregational announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. If you're looking for those lost socks, according to my sister, they go the same place that Tupperware lids go. Next Thursday, March 23rd, will be Around the Rabbi's virtual Tish via Zoom at 7:30 p.m. And April is coming early this year, as our April board meeting will be on March 29th at Helga's or via Zoom at 7:30 p.m. Thursday, March 30th, there will be no Tish, but there will be a presentation of a sermon by Rabbi Harold Schulweiss in the form of a trial on the issue of is the Torah true? He has F. Lee Bailey argue for the fundamentalist position. I don't know if that's whether it's true or false. And Marcia Clark, the modernist tradition. We will recreate that, probably recreated via Zoom Thursday. Our next Shabbat service will be on April 1st at 10:30 a.m. No fooling. If you haven't signed up to be a virtual or real walker for the Walk to End Genocide on April 30th, sign up. And as I announced with last Shabbat, we have a vacancy for a program vice president at a salary commensurate with the duties and results. So if you if you don't want to be the program's vice president, send me an email. Does anybody have any? Yes, right.
I just wanted to add, we have 12 people so far that have signed up to walk either in person or virtually. I'm not going to say who has not.
You know who you are.
Yeah. We have raised a little bit over $500 from these 12 individuals. And I just want to say, even if people can't walk or choose not to even walk virtually, they could always make a donation to Jewish World Watch and say it's in support of Congregation Shir Ami. So I'm really hoping we can do that.
Okay, my Wi-Fi's been down.
Oh, yeah, we forgot.
Well, you can't say the check is in the mail anymore. Any other announcements? Shabbat Shalom. Oh, I'm sorry, one more thing. To mark the passage of time, I read an article that I was reading was the passage of time. But last month, the last franchise owned by the Cal Worthington family was sold. So,
More spot.
What happened to the dog spot?
Nothing good, I'm sure.
Nothing good.
Yeah.
He went the way of Lassie when the series.
Timmy fell in the
Thank you,
well.
Jordan. Two things, just for clarification, the special program that Stan is putting together, the debate, is going to be the Thursday before Passover. So we do have tishes until then, and then that will be the Thursday before Passover. And that app I was telling you about that will take pictures and make JPEGs out of them is called Photo Scan. So go to your app store, Photo Scan, and you'll be able to bring that into your phone. Let us join together on page 24. Ein Keloheinu. Ein Keloheinu, Ein Keloheinu, Ein Keloheinu, No de le makenu, no de le Moshiachenu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonai, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Moshiachenu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonai, Atahu Makenu, Atahu Moshiachenu. Hallelujah, Shalom, V'nemar v'haya Adonai v'melech ar kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Please be seated. However, if you are in mourning or observing yahrzeit, remain standing as we observe these yahrzeits of the coming 2 weeks. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. Alexander Shapiro, Jacob Schweitzer, Riva Suckman, Sam Rosen, David Deutsch, S. Martin Altschiller, Isidore Izzy Goldfarb, Robert Vision, Lee Gordon, Blanche Karansky, Alfred Simon, Sam Fay, Morris Sorota, Bertha Gottesman, and Jaime Sigadel. Are there any names that we neglected? Thank you. Any other names we neglected? Thank you. Other names? Mourner's Kaddish is on page 25. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. V'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayerecho Beit Yisrael ba'agala u'v'zman kari v'yemiru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach v'yolam u'l'omei omayim. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpo'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu. La'elah min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'yemiru. Amen. Yehei shulama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yemiru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yemiru. Amen. Please be seated as we conclude our service with Adon Olam, page 26. Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Li'ei Nasa, V'chefzoro, Azai Melech, Shemon Yacharei, B'chotacho, Levado, V'hu yeh
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, and we'll see you soon, I hope. Go Bruins.
Yeah, 5 o'clock or so.
Say it again.
I think
Five, yeah,
it's
yeah.
about 5 o'clock against
Well,
Northwestern.
we're taping it, yeah. So we're hoping for the
Okay,
best.
well,
Okay.
be there in spirit.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.